And India's parliament session continues in Delhi. Discussion on the union budget continues in both the houses of parliament as Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman can reply to the budgetary discussion being held in Rajya Sabha or the upper house. The motion would be put to vote after the discussion is complete in both the houses. The government will also present the Indian Aircraft Bill 2024 in the lower house of Lok Sabha. Discussion and voting will be held on the demands for grant of railways for the year 2024-25 in the lower house. And for more, we are joined by our correspondent Debyendu Mondal. Debyendu, good morning. What all is expected today in the proceedings in the Parliament?
Good morning, Lipakshi. The Parliament is holding the budget session. And over the last, in fact, 2 weeks now, we are seeing that the budget is being discussed thoroughly in both the houses of Parliament, which is the lower as well as the upper house. Yesterday, we saw Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman giving her reply to the budget, to the motion for passing the budget in the lower house. It is expected that she could reply in the upper house today. We also saw that the floor leader in the upper house, J.P. Nadda, also the Union Health Minister, presenting his point of view in the budget yesterday. We also saw the opposition leaders, including the leader of the opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, presenting his viewpoints in the lower house. Of course, the budget session discussions will continue even today in both the houses of Parliament. 20 hours each have been dedicated for the discussion in both the houses of Parliament. So of course, after the discussion is over, we'll see the budget being put to vote in the lower house of the Parliament. Of course, it's how today is likely to unfold. As you also rightly said, that the Aircraft Bill 2024 is likely to be presented by the government. It is perhaps a bill that is aiming to overhaul the entire civil aviation sector in India. And why this bill was necessitated was, of course, because of the fact that India's civil aviation was being governed by a 90-year-old, the 90-year-old Aircraft Act. So, of course, it needed to be overhauled given the fact that the new demands and challenges that India has been witnessing in the civil aviation sector. And this bill is perhaps going to give the civil aviation sector a push towards, more speedy growth in this sector. So, of course, today is likely to be more of a discussion on the budget in both the houses of Parliament. Vipakshi.
All right. Also, Debyendu, if you talk about discussion and voting is also supposed to be held on the grant for railways. Can you tell us about that?
Well, of course, the railway, each ministry places grants during their demand. And today is the day when the railways, which is, of course, one of the biggest sectors in India. And, it is the mode of public transport for millions of Indians across India. So, of course, the government has also earmarked a huge amount of money for the railway sector. So, of course, that demands for grants from the Railway Ministry will be put to vote in the Lok Sabha. Of course, it's a money bill, so this does not necessarily needs to be voted in the Rajya Sabha. But of course, as per the formality, it will also go to the Rajya Sabha. But as a money bill, it will first be presented in the Lok Sabha, and once the voting takes place, which is likely to be today itself, and the demands of grants is passed, the Railway Ministry will get the earmarked, the financial budget that the government has set aside for the railways for the financial year of 24-25. So of course, there is not much that is expected out of it, because it will go by ministry by ministry, where demands from each ministry is presented. But since railways is a much bigger ministry which connects literally every part of this country, the demands for grants for that ministry is, of course, quite high. Also, given the fact that the government is trying to give much emphasis to the covered system, which is the anti-collision system of the railways, and Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has categorically said a much chunk of the budget of the railways will be put for placing that covered system in place by the end of this financial year. So, of course, we'll see that too in the lower house today.
All right. Thank you so much, Devendu, for all that.